gebouwd werd door een multimiljardair. Bij zo'n enorme ster moet je altijd maar afwachten of hij ook werkelijk op komt dagen. Maar gelukkig, zijn auto staat er. George Harrison. Tuinieren is eigenlijk zijn echte grote passie. Hij trouwde met en scheidde van fotomodel Patty Boyd, die later weer hertrouwde met de man die nog steeds zijn beste vriend is, Eric Clapton. En die speelde ook weer mee op de nieuwe langspeelplaat, waarmee hij na 5 jaar solo-stilte terugkwam in de schijnwerpers. Een boeiende plaat, goed deels in de Beatle-traditie met een aantal interessante onderwerpen. George Harrison, een keurige huisvader nu, met gelukkig nog steeds dat lekkere Liverpoolse accent. En een maniak als het gaat om het ontwijken van publiciteit. Daarom ook waren we extra blij met deze zeldzame kans.
So, Mr. Harrison, you once said you couldn't imagine being a rock star when you were 40, so here we are.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a rock star when I was 40. I waited till I was 44.
One of the songs on your album is called Devil's Radio. It's an assault on gossip journalism. In what way do you feel victimized by that type of journalism?
It's not just gossip journalism, it's gossip in general. The idea of that came from a church. I was at the traffic lights in my car and by this little church, and there was a sign on the side of the church and it said, "Gossip, the devil's radio. Don't be a broadcaster." So I just thought it was a good idea for a song, and it says in the song is gossip is, you know, it's on the radio, it's in your magazines, it's just in people talking, you know, about each other, and, you know, it's in films and it's in the clubs and it's in everywhere. It's not just about the press.
So you are against gossip?
Gossip, yeah, because it is a bad thing. I'm maybe more sensitive to it because maybe there's more gossip talked about me and the Beatles than about, you know, generally. But gossip is not a good thing. It's a negative thing. And a lot of people, and people I know, friends of mine, and they always say, "Oh, you won't believe what I heard about, oh, you know, Eric, oh, he's doing, you know." And it's like, I don't want to know about all these twisted little stories about it's very negative.
George. Hij ziet er tegenwoordig trouwens wel een tikkie anders uit dan ten tijde van de film Let It Be. Maar dat geldt ook voor Ringo, die nog steeds met hem samenwerkt.
On your album is also Ringo Starr. And you said, he is like myself with the guitar. What did you mean by that?
Well, we've grown, for so many years, grown up together, and as a drummer, I know Ringo is a great drummer, but he is bad, he doesn't practice. But it doesn't seem to matter. He just picks up the drumsticks, and for my songs he's very good because he listened to the song once and he knows exactly what to play. He was the kind of drummer who never likes drum solos. So he just keeps good time, and he instinctively knows when there's a little piece that needs a fill. And it's the same with me. You know, people call me a guitar player. And in a way, I'm a guitar player, but I never practice. There's years and years in my life where I never pick the guitar up except just to make a record. But I know I could be quite good, but I don't practice enough.
Do you have the feeling that the older you get, the better you become?
Yes. For me, because when I was younger and with the Beatles and John and Paul and all that situation, it was hard for me to come out and get my confidence. Now I don't care, you know, I'm getting old, I just don't care about what anybody thinks, and consequently, it comes over better.
Yes. Being the youngest member of the Beatles, did you have any particular...
How old are they?
Yes. Did you have any particular difficulty establishing your own identity in the group? Was that extra difficult because you were younger?
I don't think I wasn't even trying to identify or make an identity. I was just in the band, really, and every so often I thought I would like to get my tune in. That was difficult in the beginning, and maybe more so after the Beatles split up is why I had so many songs and stuff like that. Yes. It was difficult at times, but I didn't mind. You know, I accepted being that member of the band that was in the middle. I didn't mind being that person.
At the time of the split up, you were only, I think, 27. You had a lifetime of experiences. You'd been through everything imaginable. Can you describe who were you at that moment? What did you feel? What went through your head?
In no less than 25 words?
I give you 26.
I don't know. At the time, you know, when we split, we'd had too much input from, you know, everything, all that being close together, touring the world, mania, everything like that. It was, we needed a rest from each other, and we needed space to grow. I think it's important because we're growing all the time, and when you like that situation, it's just like a family. You're so close together, and then you grow older and you want to move and you want to go into your own house and have your own friends. And that was necessary. I don't have any regrets, the Beatles splitting up. I think they did a fantastic thing in that short time. But everybody wants them to go together again, and it's impossible. I think it's better left as it is.
In what way has having a child changed your life?
Well, it's made me want to not sort of kill myself too soon, you know? Sometimes we go too fast in life, and it makes me realize the responsibility. I want to have time to enjoy that relationship. And it's also made me think, I'm sure everybody who's a parent knows when they have a child, you also can be that child, and you're the parent, and you can also be your own father at the same time. It's like it puts you into 3 different periods of time. 3 generations can be experienced in one. It's a nice experience.
So you stopped being as crazy as you were?
That's crazy.
How crazy were you?
Oh, it's crazy. You know, I mean, rock and roll is crazy, you know.
So what's your son's favorite music? Is it your music?
Chuck Berry.
So it's familiar.
Berry, the thing he wants to do most is play. Chuck Berry.
Wonderlijk hoe je zo onbeschadigd, zo doodnormaal, zo sympathiek tevoorschijn kunt komen uit het meest uitzonderlijk soort leven dat je in kunt denken. De plek waar hij woont betekent trouwens veel voor George. Niet voor niets is zijn huis onderwerp van 2 door hem zelf geschreven songs.
Yeah, it's a place where I can get privacy, and when you sit like this room here we're in now, it's a nice room to be in, you know? And it is nice when you go in the house and you feel, oh, it's a nice room to be in, because it makes you feel good, and it's conducive to maybe writing songs or feeling happy.
Well-known fact, Mr. Harrison, that you believe very firmly in reincarnation. What gave you this firm conviction?
Just by studying the Vedic, you know, what they call Hinduism, or even reading what Jesus Christ said. Jesus Christ taught all about reincarnation, except in Constantinople in 441 AD, they decided to get rid of that because the Romans, who was then starting to, they knew there was something good about Christianity, about Christ, but they didn't really like some of the things he said, so they fashioned it to suit themselves, and at that point in time, they cut out what he's talked about, which is reincarnation and the law of karma, which is, as he said, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. But Christ taught the law of karma and rebirth.
To conclude, give me your first reaction to some names. Eric Clapton.
He's lovely.
Donnie.
My boy.
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher.
That's John.
Lennon. Paul. I'm going to see him now. I'm late for dinner with Paul.
Ringo.
I'm late for dinner with Ringo, too.
George.
George Michaels, George Washington, George Formby, George Benson.